Hi Aries, welcome to Yellow Cardinal Tarot with me. My name is Carol, and on this channel my readings center around healing the shadow through parts therapy. And in my own healing journey, which I've been on for a number of years now, I have a life coach for my own complex trauma, and we use parts therapy. So one of the gifts that has come out of healing a lot of my trauma, not all of it, I think I'll be on a life journey doing that, but one of the gifts that's come out is to read tarot, but not only just to read tarot, but to read it using parts. And so you'll see that I talk about this part and that part, but I will explain it as I go along for you, just to kind of give you an idea of what it is. And you'll recognize the parts because we all have parts. We just don't know it. And some of us do, and I'll explain it to you what they are, and you'll go, okay, yeah, I have that part. And so we're going to start out by... before I start out this, I'm just going to say that there are no dates on this reading, and that's because I trust that when it comes into your feed, it's meant for you. And so today what I'm going to do is I'm going to start out my reading by picking a theme for you that you're working on right now, and that's going to be I'm going to pick it from the Healing Yourself reading cards with Ina Segal, and I found these cards have been just amazing for me on this channel to select kind of a theme that we're working with. And then after that, I will use the Curious Travels Tarot deck, one of my favorite. Pick out 3 cards for that, and then I will clarify that with the Rider-Waite deck here. So let's begin with choosing a card here as a theme for you. And I'm going to use my pendulum to do that. I've already calibrated this and told it what I wanted it to do. And so we're going to ask, and you'll notice that when I let this go, I won't move my hand. And it's going to eventually... I'm going to feel it go towards a certain card for you. So let's pick a card for Aries right now for this reading. Not sure. Yeah, I think it must change direction. Yeah. Just going to move it a bit just to see where it's going. Yeah. All right, it's going towards this card right here. It's not as easy for you to see on the screen. I noticed when I was reviewing the video, and it's not, you don't see it as close as I do, but I get a general feeling of where it's tugging towards, and then I can usually see it, and sometimes I have to move it and nudge just to see where it's going. So what's your theme? Let's look at what it is you have. Ooh, interesting. Something that I've been kind of focusing on lately is called dreams. So pay attention to your dreams. They hold lots of significant insights for you at present. Your dreams may provide you with important details about your current health issues or a creative idea you need to action to make your desires manifest. Dreams can also give you clues about what is challenging you emotionally. Sometimes your loved ones who have passed over or people you have lost touch with connect to you while you sleep and offer you valuable messages that can give you peace of mind or the strength to persist through a challenging situation. Take note of both the dark and the light aspects of your dreams. In particular, pay attention to any recurring dreams, as they often have significant meaning or wisdom that can help you. Fascinating for you. So pay attention to your dreams. So we're going to look at what's challenging you right now emotionally around your dreams, and maybe why you're needing to pay attention to your dreams, because there's something coming up for you to heal. And that's what dreams are all about. It's our dreams are our unconscious, and The other day, well, what I do is I've been one that's not always followed my dreams, but probably in the last year I've been really trying to follow them. And what I do is when I wake up at night, if it's something I see an image, if it's something I hear, or whatever dream I was involved in, some sort of action going on, I will immediately, I have my phone beside me, and you can have a piece of paper, and a pen or something, but I will write it in my notes. And, you know, I can sit there and go, oh, you'll remember this in the morning. I never do. I will wake up and I'll read my notes and I'll go, wow, I don't even remember that. But I know I wrote it down. So the other night, I had about 3 or 4 different things coming up, and I was talking in my reading before this, Gemini's reading, about how I wasn't able to sleep, and I knew that there was something coming up for me, a new memory coming up. And there was about 4 things that happened to me. I heard something, I saw something, and then there was some other action, and then a person's name came up. And it was like, it was so random, this person's name. It was a relative of mine. And I was like, this is what this is about. But I didn't know what it was. And so I eventually had to work through it and figured out what it was. I do a lot of journaling. And yeah, so dreams are important. So that's coming up for you right now. So let's ask the tarot right now. What situation or issue is, are you dealing with, Aries, right now? In particular, like what's challenging emotionally right now. Usually this deck's pretty good about not spitting out 2, but I think it wants you to see that there's 2 cards here. Well, here's the 9 of Swords coming up for you, and that card is definitely all around dreams. So, and the 2 of Pentacles sitting right behind it. So fascinating 2 cards that come out. I tell you, this deck, Nina Segal Heal Yourself deck, is amazing in how it just relates to what's going on here. All right, so what's coming up from your shadow that needs healing, Aries? What's coming up from your shadow? What is it around this that needs healing? 1 card, please. You have the 2 of Swords. And see where I'm going to put these right here. Keep this dream card in here. What guidance does the tarot have for you? And you have the Magician. Powerful major arcana. First one of the major arcana for you. All right, so let's get some clarifiers. I think I'm going to ask for 1 clarifier maybe for these 2 cards right here. Just 1 card right here for the 9 of Swords. Yeah, there we go. Chariot in reverse. Okay. Pull those down. The 2 of Swords. Couple cards for that. Got 1 there. I love when they pop out like that. You have the Sun card and the 6 of Swords. These cards are sitting in your shadow with the 2 of Swords. And the Magician card, which is our guidance from the tarot. A couple cards, please, for this Magician card. Oh, there we go. We have the King of Swords in reverse and the Tower card. And my kitten has entered the picture. Oh, maybe he still needs to sleep some more. It was like I was crossing my finger because I have a big plant behind this camera, and he's just digging in it every time he's here. He's in that stage where he's digging into everything and climbing on my kitchen counter, and I'm just like, I don't remember having a kitten and what they were like. It's like having a little kid hanging around. You have to watch them all the time. But I keep telling myself he will grow into an adult one day. But he hasn't slept much today because he's been up. He follows me everywhere. So he hasn't jumped on this table yet. I don't want to let him up here because then he'll think he can come up here all the time. There's not enough room for him on my table. Anyway, I may have to get up during the reading and if he's going to dig at my plant, but we'll see how far it goes. So, but right now I'm going to go back to your reading, and it's all about dreams, and this is fascinating for you right now. So, no, he's on that. All right, so let's go. What is the situation that you're dealing with right now? What's the issue? Well, you start off with the Nine of Swords, and you know, we're talking about dreams, and the Nine of Swords card is this individual that has been, it looks like they've been waking up at night, and she has all the swords going on in her head, and swords is our mental energy. It's these thoughts that go through your head where you start spinning a lot, right? It's in reverse here because I think there's a resistance to you to realizing that you need to pay attention to what's happening to you. Maybe you have sleep issues. Maybe you can't get to sleep at night. Maybe you're waking up at 3, 4 in the morning and you can't get back to sleep. And you know, sleep is incredible. When we can't sleep, it just ruins our life, right? We need our sleep. And it took me a while to realize what the Nine of Swords really meant for me. I knew it always meant, like, some people always said, you know, you're awake at night or something's keeping you awake. And for me, this meant there's a memory. I looked at this as, God, this makes sense for me in this healing channel, that, you know, this is a memory. There's something here that's coming up for you for healing. And we're going to look at, you know, your shadow in a minute. But when the Nine of Swords comes up, it's like, yeah, there's something here. There's a memory maybe. Something that you need to know, and you need to understand, you know, what it is, what happened, because it's coming up for healing right now. And the Two of Pentacles is right behind it, which kind of tells me why this is in reverse. And I think what's happening with you, the situation you're in, is you're keeping yourself quite distracted. This card right here, this he's like a juggler, right? He's multitasking, but he's very, very ungrounded. You can see his feet, they're not both planted in the ground. The juggler, actually, we see him usually, the juggler, the Two of Pentacles, usually someone, he is a juggler, but he can see that he's on one foot only, so he's very unbalanced and ungrounded. Distraction. I look at this individual as multitasking, right? So you're either like finding yourself very distracted, you're very distracted, or you're keeping yourself busy. You're probably very ungrounded because of this memory that's coming up. And that's no surprise when we have something that's coming up, when our unconscious is like tugging at us, going, listen, there's something we need to look at here. And if it's coming through your dreams, we will keep ourselves distracted as much as we can, because we have a part called the controller, which is mainstream psychology calls it our ego, but it'll try to block this. And that's why you're not, you know, sleeping properly and maybe having nightmares. But it's time now to look at those dreams. And the card that comes out as a clarifier that I asked is the Chariot. And the Chariot, in an upright position, talks about this individual that is trying to control these two sphinxes with his mind. He has no reins. As you can see, he's been there for a long time. So he's been trying to control this for a long time. And these sphinxes aren't even moving. They're made of stone. They're looking in different directions. And so this card is very much, it's a powerful card. It's a major arcana card. So it's like a universal force out there. And it talks about movement, but it's not talking about physical movement here. It's talking about inward movement, going inwards. And I think you've been trying so hard to control your dreams, control what's going on with this, whatever it's coming up. There's something that's coming up for you, something that's challenging you emotionally right now that's coming up for you. And you've been trying to control this by distracting yourself and keeping busy. And, you know, it's time now that, you know, that's not working. It's not working. As you can see, this guy's turned to cement. He's stuck. He's hit a wall here. And so it's time for you to go inwards. And that's why there's this card's coming out saying, listen, let's look at what's going on in our unconscious. Let's go inwards here and see, you know, and focus on those dreams, because there's something there for you. So let's look at our unconscious, and that's your shadow, because this is what's driving and having the biggest impact on this situation that's coming up for you right now. We have the Two of Swords here. And it's interesting that this is when you look at this part right here, your shadow, this talks about your childhood. It talks about when you were a teen. And you have the Two of Swords here, and this individual has, you can't see it here, but it's a card that is usually has a woman here blindfolded with the Rider-Waite deck, and she's covering her heart. And I see here that this individual, this deck is covering the moon, and our moon talks about our intuition, our inner knowing, our gut knowing, right? And we can't get in touch with our inner knowing, our gut knowing, if we're not in our body, if we're not grounded. And I think that's why there's this call here that's coming out for you to let's get into our body. Let's go inwards here, because you've been up in your head trying to control this for so long now. But in your shadow, there's a part of you when you were younger that went up in your head and that said, you know what, I'm not going to, and I can see here because you have the Six of Swords, and I'll talk about that in a minute as a clarifier. There was a part of you when you were younger that realized that feeling your emotions was not a safe place for you. So you didn't stay in your body. You went up in your head, and that's what our controller, which is, like I said, your ego self, will take you and put you up in your head when you're younger, because we don't have emotions up here. We can live up in our head all we want. We can try to control this situation all the time if we want. We can live up in our head. But that's not where our emotions are. And you need to get to some emotions. There's something here for you, for some healing. And I think when you were younger, you learned that it wasn't safe for you to feel. Because I see here that you have the Sun card. And the Sun card talks about pure joy and innocence and vulnerability as a child. You weren't allowed to feel your emotions. You didn't have that pure joy in feeling your emotions. I like to see, I go for walks often along the beach. And I always love to watch the sand castles that are being built and the kids that are plastered in mud and just having the time of their life. And the other day there was these two boys that were, it was a real shallow part of the beach, and they had this ball that they were throwing at each other, and it bounced off the water, and it was so cool to watch. And I think they could have done that for hours on end, hours and hours on end. And I think when you were younger, you realized that emotions was just something that you were not allowed to feel. And you didn't have that joy as a child, because the Six of Swords comes out here and tells me that you weren't in a safe environment when you were younger. This is a safety card. This is a card about this individual's taking these two people to a safer place. There's rough waters here. There's a safe place that he's going to right here. And so when you were younger, it wasn't safe for you. You didn't have a safe environment for you to feel. And so right now, when you're being called to, you know, be open to feeling what's going on, paying attention to your dreams or something that's coming up. There's a memory around something, and there's some significant insights that are coming up for you in your dreams, and it's going to involve a memory, and it's going to also involve some emotions there. There's always emotions attached to our memories, always. And there's that's what's coming up for you right now. So what does the guidance have for you? What guidance does the tarot have for you? Well, the first card is a Magician card. And the Magician card is a beautiful card. He's the master manifester. He can do anything he wants. He has all the elements. He has the cups and the swords and the pentacles and the wands. He has everything in his power to do what he wants. I often, when I first started this journey, I wanted people to give me answers. I wanted my own therapist to give me answers to my own issues. Like, what am I supposed to do? I don't know what to do. And at the beginning, she started telling me, you know, Carol, you have everything in you. You have all your answers in you. That's not what I wanted to hear. I wanted people to continue to tell me what to do. But this Magician card says you have everything in you. You have your intuition, which is right here. And it's being blocked right now. It was blocked when you were younger. You have your inner guidance. You have everything here for you, inside of you. But if you're up in your head, you won't get to it. But it's a call here to get into your body and feel some of these emotions here. The King of Swords comes out here, and he's the controller. He's our ego self. He's the masculine part of us. He has the sword in his hand. There's not one part of him that wants you, Aries, to take this sword up. That's your authentic sword. That's the sword that you take up to get to your authentic self, to try to figure out, who the hell am I? Like, what is this that's trying to talk to me? What are my dreams trying to say to me right now? And this controller's coming out going, don't you dare. And it'll put fear in your system, and it'll try to block you from going inwards and feeling some of these emotions, because you know what's going to say to you? Don't you remember what happened to you when you were younger, when you tried to feel? Don't you remember when people, blocked your emotions and told you not to fear, and how you felt like you didn't matter? Don't you remember that? That's what's going to come out again if you decide that you want to feel. And then you've got the Tower moment as a final card for you, which is fascinating here, because the Tower moment does not come in my deck, does not come in my readings that often. It usually comes in reverse. It doesn't come often upright, because I think there's a Tower moment coming up for you right now. And remember, this is the guidance. It's saying, if you don't start to pay attention to this, your dreams, and pay attention to what's coming up, this memory right here, when we've been given red signs over and over and over again, we get the Tower moment. It's like this big baseball bat from the universe that says, listen, Aries, I've been trying to get you to pay attention to what's going on. I've been trying to tell you in your dreams. I've been telling you that you need to feel, that you need to deal with this situation that that you know that you've been spinning on, and that you know that you've been distracting yourself from. You've been keeping yourself busy, staying up in your head, not going in your body. There's no way, because that's where your emotions are. And now it's like the universe says it's time. There's a Tower moment coming out here for you. And we can always prevent our Tower moment from happening. Because when if we're aware that, okay, I have been warned and I've been told, and that there's something here that's coming up, and if we keep pushing it down, it comes back up. Push it down, and it's like, no, there's a Tower moment here for you. And so I think what's really important for you is that you learn how to get into your body and stay in your body, because there's some emotions there, and that's where our intuition is. It's not up in our head. And I know you have a controller here that's trying to keep you there, but I'm going to give you a grounding video, a couple of videos actually, where I teach you. I did them a few years ago, where I actually teach you how to ground. I take you outside my backyard and I show you how. And I use those same things today to try to ground myself every day, sometimes a few times a day, if I know that I'm being really distracted, and I know that my controller's out and trying to get me to not stay in my body. I will use those ways that I teach you in these videos. So Aries, I want you to have compassion for yourself for what you're working through. This is a very difficult journey, the healing journey, but it's the most important journey in your life. So take care, and I'll talk soon. Bye.